Peace and blessings. Welcome back to the channel once again, where we talk all things health and healing from a holistic perspective. And today will be no different. Today is for the ladies. It's all about you. Now, fellas, before you hit that button to say, all right, this video is not about, something I need to learn about, consider this. I have 3 sisters. So part of the reason why I'm making this video is because as I went down this rabbit hole of research, it made me think about all these things that could potentially impact the health of my sisters, my mother, my aunts, et cetera, et cetera. And I know you fellas, you got a mother, you got sisters, you got an aunt, you got a wifey, you got a girlfriend, you got somebody out there you care about. And this is one of the ways that we should be protecting our women, is by getting this type of information and sharing it with them. So do not hit that button if you're the fellas. Now, ladies, this is a very important video. As I'm doing my research, going down the rabbit hole, it took me further and further and further. And now I'm starting to understand why so many women have hormonal issues, why so many women have issues with their periods being long and heavy, why so many women are having issues with increase in breast cancer and all types of other cancers as well too, autoimmune conditions, the list goes on and on and on. And so I'm going to give you just 5 of the things that I found today. These toxic products that need to be eliminated because they're increasing your risk for cancer, okay? They're causing you to have more severe PMS symptoms, and they're causing your womb health to be depleted, which means that you're having issues with infertility as well too, fibroids, the list goes on and on. This is why all of these things are so prevalent. And when I put them together, it's gonna make so much sense. When you start to put these things together and see how you're giving yourself daily doses of toxins that are ending up causing all these issues down the line, okay? So without any further ado, let's get started. Number 1, and I know some of these, like when I say these, like, listen, don't let it trigger you. Just understand this is information, and this is information that we think typically this is harmless. Why would I even think about that? But it's just important to know and understand it's those small things that create big issues. Okay, so number 1, polyester clothes and panties especially, okay? All those little nice looking panties, which us, the fellas, we love, okay? But it's important to know polyester is a very unhealthy fabric, okay? And particularly, it exposes you to a ton of toxic chemicals, okay? These toxic chemicals that are used to make this polyester, even when you're wearing the panties, and I've seen cases where women will wear undergarments and they leave, like, let's say they are, at the beach and they lay on a towel, and that towel leaves like a dye mark on there. So it's important to know that these unhealthy fabrics are giving off chemicals, and they use a lot of chemicals to make these fabrics, specifically polyester, okay? Which is not a natural fiber, it is a synthetic fiber. And the most dangerous thing about polyester is that it releases a carcinogen known as antimony, okay? Now, antimony is a very dangerous chemical, but they use even other dangerous chemicals as well too. But antimony is a carcinogenic chemical, okay, that is in polyester, amid all the other chemicals in there as well too. So switch out to some more natural fibers like cotton, okay? And I'm sure you can find the nice ones too, okay, with cotton. All right, number 2, the typical tampons. The typical tampons that women are wearing and haven't considered because they didn't look on the box and they don't understand how they make these tampons, because they look cool and they smell cool because they put all these fragrances and all these things in them. But the typical tampon is laced with forever chemicals like PFAS, okay, PFAS, okay, which are forever chemicals, meaning they get into the body, and unless you do something about it, they never leave the body. That's why they call them forever chemicals. Okay, so they're laced with those, which are carcinogenic. They cause cancer. Okay, now just think about all these cancers that women are experiencing today: ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, breast cancer. The list goes on and on. Okay, and we know that this is definitely one of those things that causes one of those to increase, all of those to increase. Okay, plasticizers like phthalates, okay, loaded in tampons, heavy metals, so heavy metals like lead and arsenic in tampons. So just think about that. You're not just putting this on your skin, you're putting this in your body, okay, in your womb, the most divine place there is in the body for a woman. Okay, that's the portal for every human in existence to come into this world. Okay, and they're basically creating a chemical dipstick to go in that area. Okay, when you start to think about the heavy metals that I just mentioned, lead and arsenic, the phthalates, the PFAS, the forever chemicals, all in those typical tampons. So get rid of those. Get some natural organic tampons that are chemical free. Okay, so get rid of those immediately. I don't care if you're one of those people who like to stock up on things. You got 30 boxes left, throw all 30 away. Start with a new box, never wear those again. Okay, I didn't even mention all the chemicals that they put in them. Okay, but just think about how fibroids have increased astronomically. Think about how, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome has increased astronomically. And the list goes on. All of these issues that are grounded in hormonal issues and grounded in womb health, okay? And you will start to kind of piece these things together that I'm talking about. All right. Number 3, shampoos and conditioners. Okay. The reason why I'm saying typical shampoos and conditioners is because they're loaded with phthalates, which I just mentioned. They're loaded with parabens. Okay. These are endocrine disrupting. They essentially disrupt your hormone balance in your body. Okay. So endocrine disruptors. Endocrine system is the system that creates hormone. It disrupts all of that. Okay, phthalates and parabens. Also triclosan. Okay, also sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay, loaded with chemicals that not only are causing your hormones to become unbalanced, but also increasing your risk for cancers as well too. Completely legal to be in all of these shampoos, conditioners, tampons, the list goes on and on. All right. So get rid of those typical shampoos and conditioners. Get you some organic, natural ones. Okay. Quickly. All right. So again, that's number 3. Number 4, and this is probably, you guys are going to want to punch me about this one, but I noticed that my sisters, my cousins, aunts who struggle with their periods that are severe and heavy, and God knows, I don't know anything about the pain that a woman goes through when she goes through her cycle. But what I do know is that NSAIDs that are commonly used for pain for a lot of women during their cycles, like ibuprofen, aspirin, naproxen, the list goes on and on. I've seen women pop those as if they were like some candy or something. And what the doctor's not telling you, or the pharmacist at the pharmacy isn't telling you, is that NSAIDs cause issues. They cause GI issues. They literally could cause ulcers, okay, in your gut, which is a hole in the gut. They can cause an increase in cardiovascular issues because they can increase the blood pressure. They can kill the good bacteria in the gut as well too, and open up those tight junctions, causing you to have leaky gut. They also can damage the kidney and the liver as well too. Well documented. This isn't something that, is new information. This is something that is well known. So down the line, when somebody ultimately has gut issues that turn into a leaky gut, that turns into an autoimmune condition, they never track it back to the NSAID use, the heavy use of ibuprofen. Okay? Hugely important. Even birth control can cause gut issues. Okay? That's not even on the list. Okay? I'll have to do a whole different video just about birth control so people can really understand what it is. Because at one point, they were using a natural herb for birth control, but now it's nothing like that. So it's just hugely important. But now I digress. Let me get back on track. So number 4, NSAIDs, okay? Increase your risk for autoimmune conditions, which 80% of autoimmune conditions are typically women, okay? And also affects your wound health as well too, because if it can affect your good gut bacteria in your gut, you best believe it can affect the microbiome in your womb as well too, okay? Number 5, pesticides, okay? Pesticides like atrazine and glyphosate. Now, it's well documented that glyphosate causes cancer. I mean, you only have to go on the website and look and just search glyphosate lawsuit settlement, and you will see millions of dollars being given to farmers and people who have had to sue the company Roundup as a result of glyphosate causing cancer, okay? But also atrazine, which is the second most used pesticide in America, is an endocrine disrupting pesticide, okay? So it disrupts your endocrine system, which is your hormonal system, which a lot of women end up struggling with. And not only does that cause imbalances in your hormones that lead to PMS, severe PMS, but also that's going to lead to an increase in breast cancer and all types of cancers as well too. So hugely important. And then I'm going to give you a bonus. Okay, so that was 5. The bonus is plastics. Okay, get rid of plastics. You'll notice that all the food that you get today is in plastic. Okay, that plastic, you've seen it on like your water bottles, it'll say BPA free. Okay, but what they don't tell you is they now make a BPS and they make a BPF. So yeah, it may be BPA free, but it may have these other endocrine disruptors as well too, that they just change the name. Okay, so it's just a trick of the trade. But also they have phthalates that they put in there that I mentioned before. This makes the plastic look very clear instead of like all vague and opaque. You see what I'm saying? So like they like to put those things in there so then the plastic looks clear. You think that the water's great. Okay, and then parabens as well too. So get rid of all plastics too. So no plastics in terms of like utensils and things that you eat things in. Okay, don't microwave anything in anything plastic. Don't use the microwave at all for that matter. But also don't buy food in plastic either. Even when you're getting your produce, take little bags to put your produce in instead of putting them in plastic bags. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. I didn't want to go too deep. I just wanted to kind of hit you with some of the things that are very typical. But I think if we were to start to get these things removed from the lifestyle, that we will start to see some noticeable improvements in all of the areas that I talked about before. And as always, please hit that subscribe button. A lot of you are following my content, but you have not hit the subscribe button. That's how you give me a thank you. So when you hit the subscribe button, that's how you give me a thank you. That's the biggest thank you can give me. And the second biggest thank you can give me is by hitting the like button and then the share button. So really appreciate you guys and your support. Until the next time, peace and blessings and Godspeed.